Jnanakosha, Puranas, Introduction.
सर्गच्च प्रतिसर्गच्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Skanda. Description of Puranas and Upapuranas. Once, while describing the origin of Puranas, Sutaji told the sages who had assembled at Naimisaranya, Lord Shiva had first revealed the contents of Skanda Purana to Parvati at Kailash mountain. Lord Brahma and few other deities were also present there at the time when Shiva was narrating the tale. Subsequently, Parvati narrated this tale to Skanda, Skanda to Nandi, and Nandi to sages like Sanaka. And finally, Sanaka narrated it to Vyasa. Now I am going to tell you the same tale which Vyasa had narrated to me. Sutaji began by saying, during ancient times, Lord Brahma once did a very austere penance resulting into the manifestation of all the four Vedas. Later on, all the 18 Puranas too appeared from his mouth. These 18 Puranas were Brahma Purana, Vishnu Purana, Shiva Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Narada Purana, Markandeya Purana, Agni Purana, Brahma Vaivarata Purana, Linga Purana, Padma Purana, Varaha Purana, Skanda Purana, Vamana Purana, Kurma Purana, Matsya Purana, Garuda Purana, and Vayu Purana. Apart from these 18 main Purana, there are also similar number of secondary Puranas known as Upapuranas. These Upapuranas are Sanat Kumar, Narasimha, Skanda, Shiva, Dharma, Durvasa, Narada, Kapila, Manu, Ushana, Brahmanda, Varuna, Kalika, Maheshwara, Shamba, Shaura, Parashara, Maricha, and Bhargava. Sutaji then went on to describe the other features of each Purana. Brahma Puranas contain 10,000 shlokas and 8, whereas Padma Purana contains 55,000 shlokas. Similarly, there are 23,000 shlokas in Vishnu Purana. Vayu Purana contains the tales related with Lord Shiva, and it contains 24,000 shlokas in it. Similarly, the remaining Puranas like Bhagavata, Narada, Markandeya, Agni, Bhavishya, Brahma Vaivarata, Linga, Varaha, Skanda, Vamana, Kurma, Matsya, Garuda, and Brahmanda Purana contains 18,000, 25,000, 9,000, 16,000, 14,500, 18,000, 11,000, 24,000, 81,100, 10,000, 17,000, 14,000, 18,000, and 12,200 shlokas respectively. Sutaji told the sages that all the Upapuranas owe their origin to the main Puranas, which are 18 in number. He also revealed to them that they could be categorized into three main types: Sattvic, Rajas, and Tamas. Sattvic Puranas contain the tales of Lord Vishnu, while Rajas Puranas contain the tales of Brahma, and Tamas Puranas contain the tales of Agni and Rudra. One of the chief characteristics of Puranas is that each of them is divided into 5 sections. Sarga, description of how creation began. Pratisarga, Vansha, description of prominent dynasties. Manvantara and Vanshanucharita, tales related with the descendants of the famous sages. Prabhas Tirtham. On being asked by the sages about the prominent places of pilgrimage, Sutaji named many holy places, but according to him, Prabhas Tirtha was the crown of all the places of pilgrimage and was incomparable. Recounting a tale when Parvati had once asked Lord Shiva the same question, Sutaji said, at that time Shiva had told Parvati that Prabhas Kshetra was supreme among all the holy places and capable of liberating a man from all his sins. He had also told her that due to prevalence of sins in Kali Yuga, people would not attain virtues despite going on pilgrimages. Shiva had also told her that this was the reason why he had created numerous holy places and kept them secret, so the holiness of these places remained intact. I have manifested myself in the form of a divine Shivalinga at Prabhakshetra. The whole universe has originated from it and merges into it ultimately at the time of deluge. The Shivalinga is called Somanatha, and very few people are aware of its existence. This Shivalinga continued to exist since its manifestation in a particular kalpa named Bhairav long ago. Unfortunately, people of Kali Yuga, under the influence of all pervading ignorance, would fail to recognize the importance of holy places. Such people would try to demean the value of holy places and make fun of those people who go on pilgrimages. Being blinded by their superficial intelligence, they would try to find faults with rituals and religion. Such would be the condition of the mortals in Kali Yuga, that they would criticize everything that is religious and spiritual in nature. How can one expect from these unfortunate people of Kali Yuga to understand the significance of Prabhakshetra, and which is revered even by me? Parvati, who had been listening to the tale with rapt attention, became even more curious to know about Prabhakshetra. So she requested Lord Shiva to shed more light on the other important aspects of this sacrosanct place. Lord Shiva, continuing with his description of Prabhakshetra, said this sacrosanct place has temples of 3 deities on its 3 sides. To its east is situated a grand temple of Surya, Narayana, while there is a magnificent temple of Madhav to its west. In the same way, there is a beautiful temple of goddess Bhavani to the north of Prabhakshetra, and towards its south lies the ocean. This holy place is spread in the area of 5 yojanas and is divided in 3 major areas: Maheshwar, Vaishnav, and Brahma. There are about 1 crore temples related with different deities in Vaishnav and Brahma Kshetras, while Maheshwar Kshetra contains 1.5 crore temples. As the name implies, each area has been named after one god forming the Trinity. Anybody who has the good fortune of living in the central part of Prabhakshetra becomes absolved of all his sins, even if he has committed most abhorrent sins. The significance of this holy place can be understood by the fact that a man born there does not take a second birth and attains salvation. One whom scholars of the Vedas call Kalagnirudra is famously known as Bhairav in Prabhakshetra. Somanatha, emphasizing on the significance of Someshwar Linga and its deep association with the Vedas, Lord Shiva told Parvati, the divine Someshwar Linga exists since time immemorial and will remain for eternity. This revelation descended on me while I was engrossed in a deep state of meditation. Someshwar Linga has deep association with the Vedas, and it enhances their sanctity by establishing itself in each of them at different periods of time during the day. During morning time, Someshwar Linga establishes itself in the Rig Veda, during noon in the Yajurveda, during afternoon in the Samaveda, and during evening time it establishes itself in Atharva Veda. Different names of Somanath. Parvati curiously asked Lord Shiva about the reason why Somanath was known by so many different names. Lord Shiva said, since the time this divine Linga first manifested itself, very few blessed souls had the knowledge of its existence. Brahma has a lifespan of 1 kalpa, at the end of which even he ceases to exist, giving way to his successor, a new Brahma. In the same manner, this divine Linga acquires a new name at the end of each kalpa. The present kalpa is 7th in order, as 6 kalpas have already passed. The name of the present Brahma is Shaktanand, and this divine linga is presently famous by the name of Somanath. Similarly, it was famous as Mrityunjay during the time of Brahma, named Virinchi. During second Kalpas, this linga was famous as Kalani Rudra, and the name of the Brahma was Padmabhu. The third Kalpa had Swayambhu as Brahma, and the linga was famous as Amritesh. The name of the fourth Brahma was Parameshti in fourth Kalpa, and the linga was famous as Annamaya. In the same way, the names of the fifth and sixth Brahma were Sura, Jeshta and Hemagrabha respectively, and the names of the linga during their periods were Kritivas and Bhairavnath respectively. Lord Shiva also revealed to Parvati that the next Kalpa, eighth in order, would have Chaturmukha as Brahma, and the divine linga would be known as Prananath. Goddess Parvati then asked Shiva about the exact location of the linga in Prabhas Kshetra. Lord Shiva told her that the sacrosanct place of Prabha Kshetra was situated between the plains of two rivers, Vajrini and Nyaikumati. He also told her that the eternal linga was not very far from the sea coast. Dwelling at length about the good fortunes of those living in Prabha Kshetra, Lord Shiva told her, anybody who does not abandon this holy place despite his hardships and troubles is certain to attain to my abode. One who has the good fortune of dying at Prabha Kshetra attains salvation. There will be prevalence of sins in Kali Yuga. As a result of this, people would experience all sorts of hurdles and problems in their lives. To minimize their sorrows, to lessen their miseries, I have personally instructed Ganesha not to abandon this place even for a moment. Of all the lingas present on the earth, Somanath is specially dear to me. Siddheshwar Linga and Siddha Linga. Describing the reason why this sacrosanct place was named Prabhas, Lord Shiva told Parvati, I dwell in the entire area stretching between the ocean in south and river Kaureshwari, being situated at the western coast. This entire area is radiated by Surya's light for a relatively longer period of time, and hence it was being named Prabhas, meaning luster. This is the reason why there is situated a grand temple of Lord Surya in Prabhas Kshetra. Not from far from the Surya temple is situated a magnificent temple of Lord Siddheshwara, which was famously known as Jai Gisheshwar in ancient times. Lord Shiva then went on to describe why Siddheshwar was called Jai Jigeshwar during ancient times. There lived a sage named Jigeshwar in previous Kalpa. He used to daily worship a Shivalinga named Mahodai, which had manifested on its own. Keeping in view Shiva's fondness for ashes, he used to smear it on his body, hoping to please his deity. Not only he even slept on ashes. He thus led an extremely austere life. At last he was able to please Lord Mahodai by his devotion. When Lord Mahodai appeared before him and expressed his willingness to fulfill anything he wished, but Geshwara wanted nothing but total devotion in his deity Mahodai. Lord Mahodai blessed him with immortality and said, there would be nobody as powerful as you. Your feats achieved in spiritual things will be unmatched, and you would become famous as Yoga Acharya, or teacher of yoga. One who regularly worships this particular linga, which you have been worshipping with such deep devotion till now, is certain to get absolved of all his sins. Having blessed Yageshya, thus Lord Mahodai disappeared from his sight. After this incident, Mahodai Linga also came to be known as Yagesheshwar. In course of time, when the Kali Yuga of that Kalpa arrived, some sages named Balikhilias had gone to the same place and worshipped Lord Mahodai. Similarly, many more sages went there and attained siddhi or accomplishment. This is how this linga came to be known as Siddheshwar, the Lord of all accomplishment. There are many holy places in the vicinity, like Siddhalinga, which was installed by Lord Surya. Anybody who worships this linga on the auspicious day of Trayodasi of the bright half of the Hindu month Chaitra attains virtue similar to the accomplishment of Pundarika Yajna. Chandradeva eulogizes Shiva. Parvati asked Lord Shiva about the reason Chandradeva had to install a Shivalinga at Prabhas Kshetra. Lord Shiva replied that Daksha had got married 27 of his daughters to Chandradeva. Chandradeva was very attached to Rohini, who was one of them, and neglected others. When Daksha came to know about this, he cursed Chandradeva, as a result of which he lost his luster and started waning day by day. The worried Chandradeva did an austere penance for thousands of years to please Lord Shiva. At last, Lord Shiva became pleased and appeared before him. Subsequently, Chandradeva got a divine Shivalinga installed by Brahma and worshipped it for thousands of years. Lord Shiva appeared once again and expressed his willingness to fulfill any wish Chandradeva expressed. Chandradeva requested Lord Shiva to dwell in the very Shivalinga he had been worshipping till then. Lord Shiva revealed to him that there was no question of dwelling in the Shivalinga, as he had never abandoned it in the first place. Chandradeva had regained his luster on account of his arduous penance. Lord Shiva blessed him and said, "Since you have regained your luster, Prabha, by dint of your austere penance, this holy place will become famous as Prabhas Kshetra. This linga would be named upon you and become famous as Somanath Linga." Having blessed Chandradeva, thus Lord Shiva disappeared. Later on, Chandradeva instructed Vishwakarma to build a magnificent temple at the site. He also built a city nearby so that all the priests who were supposed to supervise the rituals of worship could live there. The significance of getting one head tonsured. Dwelling on length about the significance of getting one's head tonsured at a holy places, Lord Shiva told Parvati, a man should get his head tonsured whenever he gets an opportunity to visit a holy place, because hair are believed to contain all the sins he has committed. There is a holy place called Padmatirtha not far from Somanath temple. A devotee should first get his hair removed at Somanath Tirtha and then immerse them at Padmatirtha. This way he becomes absolved of all his sins. Women should have a symbolical cut of their hair. It is necessary to perform the rituals of Tarpan in the names of ancestors after the head tonsuring ceremony. According to the scriptures, an ocean is considered holy and nobody should its holy water in an impure state. While bathing, a devotee should chant the following mantra: Om Namo Vishnu Guptaya Vishnu Rupaya Namaha Sanidhyaya Bhava Devesha Sagare Lavana Ambisi. There are about 5 crore Shivalingas submerged in the ocean near Somanath. There are also other holy places situated near, like Agnikunda, Padma Sarovar. The emergence of Saraswati in Prabhas Kshetra. On being asked by Parvati about the emergence of river Saraswati at Prabhas Kshetra, Lord Shiva narrated the following tale to her. The holy Saraswati flowing in Prabhas Kshetra constitutes of 5 different streams: Harini, Vajrini, Nyayanku, Kapila and Saraswati. Lord Vishnu once instructed Saraswati to carry Badvanali submarine fire and dump it in the ocean near Prabhakshetra. After taking permission from Lord Brahma, her father Saraswati flew towards her destination. Ganga became sad at her departure, so she asked her as to how could she have a glimpse of her now that she was going to such a distant place. Saraswati consoled Ganga by saying that she would be able to see her whenever she looked eastwards. The swift currents of Saraswati penetrated the earth and reached the Patala Loka, carrying Bhadwanal along with her. She continued to move beneath the ground towards her destination. As she reached Prabhakshetra, four learned sages who were well versed in Vedas arrived there and invoked Saraswati to give them the privilege of separate bath by dividing herself in four different streams. The names of these sages were Hiranya, Vajra, Nyayanku, and Kapila. While Saraswati was about to comply with their request, suddenly Samudra arrived there and he too expressed the same wish. Thus Saraswati divided herself into 5 different streams: Harini, Vajrini, Nyayanku, Kapila, and Saraswati. Eventually, when Saraswati reached near the ocean, Badwanal, who she was carrying, was surprised to see the high tides rising in the ocean. He thought that the Samudra was frightened of his fury, so he asked Saraswati, "Why is the ocean scared of me?" Saraswati inflated his ego by saying that who would not be scared of him. Badwanal was pleased and wanted to grant her a boon. Saraswati remembered Lord Vishnu, who instantly gave his divine appearance in her heart. She narrated the whole story and sought his advice. Lord Vishnu advised her to ask Badwanal to make his appearance small like the eye of a needle. Saraswati, following the advice of the Lord Vishnu, asked Badwanal to become small like a needle and keep sucking the ocean. Subsequently, Saraswati summoned Samudra and told him to accept Badwanal, to which he agreed. This way Samudra devoured Badwanal, who continues to suck the water of the ocean even today as per the instructions given by Saraswati. It is believed that tides are nothing but the manifestation of Badwanal's exhalations. This was how Saraswati emerged in Prabhakshetra. Prabhas, the abode of Trinity goddesses. Lord Shiva revealed to Goddess Parvati that Prabhakshetra boasted of possessing many more Shivalingas apart from the famous Somanath Shivalinga. He also gave names of some of the prominent Shivalingas situated over there and said, "To the northeast of Somanath temple is situated a grand temple of Lord Sarveshwara Deva, who is also famously known as Siddheshwar." The reason behind this is that Shivalinga over there had been installed by the Siddhas in ancient times. People who are desirous of acquiring Siddhas throng this holy place and engage themselves in austere penance. To the east of Siddheshwara temple is situated one more temple called Kapileshwar. It has been named after sage Kapil, who had installed the Shivalinga over there. A Shivalinga named Ganadheshwar is also situated nearby. This particular Shivalinga had been installed by a Gandharva named Dhanavahan. To the east of Gandhareshwar temple is situated Vimaleshwar temple. It is believed that anybody suffering from tuberculosis gets cured after he worships in that temple. Dhaneshwar Linga was installed by Kubera, who was bestowed with the lordship of wealth on account of his austere penance. Lord Shiva told Parvati that there were also temples of 3 goddesses in Prabhakshetra apart from Shiva temples. These 3 goddesses were Mangala, Visalakshi, and Chatwar, representing the 3 types of power: willpower, power of action, and power of knowledge. Lord Shiva said the pilgrimage to Prabhakshetra is believed to be incomplete until and unless these 3 goddesses have been worshipped. Goddess Mangala represents the power of Lord Brahma, while Goddess Visalakshi that of Lord Vishnu. Goddess Chatwar represents my power. Goddess Mangala holds the privilege of getting worshipped first. During ancient times, Chandrama did an austere penance for thousands of years, and all the deities, including Lord Brahma, had gone there to witness his amazing feat. At that time, Goddess Mangala had blessed them, and this was how she got her name. Lord Shiva then went on to describe how goddess Visalakshi got her name. A fierce battle had taken place between the deities and demons during Chakshu Manvantara. Lord Vishnu fought along with the deities and helped them in defeating the demons. Demons fled towards the south but were chased by the deities. Realizing that it was not easy to annihilate the demons, Lord Vishnu remembered goddess Mahamaya and sought her help. Mahamaya appeared instantly and looked at Lord Vishnu with her large eyes. This is how she got her name. In the present Kalpa, she is also known as Lalitoma. To the south of Visalakshi temple is situated the temple of goddess Chatvara Priya. Goddess Chatvara Priya is the savior of people living in that area. Anybody who worships her on the auspicious day of Nanvami with appropriate rituals is blessed. Dwaraka Mahathyama. Sage queries to Prahalad. Once few sages asked Sutaji about the means by which Lord Vishnu could be realized in Kali Yuga, the era dominated by sin and decaying moral values. Sutaji started by describing how Lord Vishnu, on seeing the prevalence of sin in Dwapar Yuga, had to take incarnation as Krishna to liberate the world from the sinners. He also described in detail all the incidents culminating into the killings of many cruel demons, Kali a serpent, Chanur, Shishupala and ogress like Putana. He gave in depth a description of the events leading to the war of Mahabharata and how the infighting among the mighty Yadavas led to their destruction. He told them how a fowler mistook Krishna's feet to be a deer and killed him. Sutaji also told the assembled sages how the magnificent city of Dwaraka had been submerged in the ocean ultimately. He revealed to them that the passing away of Krishna marked the advent of Kali Yuga and the situation became even worse. On finding how difficult it was to realize Lord Vishnu in the Kali Yuga, the era dominated by sin, some prominent sages decided to seek Lord Brahma's help in this regard. After reaching Brahmaloka, they eulogized Brahma and received his blessing. Lord Brahma told them to go to Patala Loka and meet Prahalada, the supreme devotee of Lord Vishnu, who according to Lord Brahma was in a better position to help them. All the sages went to Patala Loka as per the instructions given by Lord Brahma. There they not only found Prahalada but also the most charitable King Bali. After the pleasantries were exchanged, they came to the real issue and said, "We are very much distressed by the prevailing situation where it appears that the evil forces have overshadowed the virtuous one. The ways shown by the Vedas are no longer in practice and the Brahmins are being tormented by the Shudras who have become the rulers. We have come with a request and a desire to know whether there was any possibility of realizing Lord Vishnu in this dark era of Kali. If yes, then where can we find Lord Vishnu?" The sanctity of Dwarkapuri. Prahalad, being an ardent devotee of Vishnu himself, understood quite well the desperation with which a devotee seeks his Lord. So he told them, "By the grace of Almighty Vishnu, I am revealing to you the name of that sacred place which had remained a secret till now. Kausthalipuri is a divine city situated on the western coast. Nearby is the place where river Gomati meets the ocean, and in this convergent point is situated the sacrosanct city called Dwaravati-puri, where you can find Lord Vishnu in all his glory of 16 kalas. Blessed by the Dwarakapuri, which the Almighty Vishnu has chosen as his abode and where he dwells in his glorious Chaturbhuja form, this is the very place which even liberates the most fallen sinner from all his sins. There is a famous temple of Lord Trivikram at the bank of river Gomati, and not far from this temple is a divine pond. Anybody desirous of salvation must bathe in this pond for the fulfillment of his wish. It is believed that before leaving for heaven, Lord Krishna had transferred all his divine powers into the Trivikram idol. So there is no place as holy as Dwarka, and if you are desirous of having a divine glimpse of Lord Krishna, then you must visit Dwarka. All the sages thanked Prahlada for sharing his secrets with them, because nobody else except Prahlada was aware of the fact that Lord Vishnu had given Dwarka the privilege of being his abode. These revelations made them more curious about Dwarka, so they requested Prahlad to disclose how the holy Gomati descended down to Dwarka. Prahlad began by describing the virtues of going on a pilgrimage to Dwarka. The mere resolution of going on a pilgrimage to Dwarka is enough to liberate one's ancestors from the tortures of the hells. Each step that a devotee takes towards Dwarka gives virtue similar to what is attained by performing Ashwamedha Yajna. One who encourages others to go on pilgrimage to Dwarka certainly goes to Vishnu Dham. Prahlad then switched over to the second part of the sage's question and said, "There is an interesting tale describing how sage Vasistha had brought down Gomati from the heaven to earth. At the time of deluge, when the whole world had submerged in water, a lotus flower manifested from Lord Vishnu's navel, on which was seated Brahma. Lord Vishnu instructed him to perform his duty as a creator, to which Brahma agreed. First of all, Brahma created his 10 Manasaputras, Sanaka, Sananda, and sought their help in increasing the population of the world by becoming householders. But all of them were extremely virtuous and did not show any inclination towards getting married. Ultimately, all of them went to the western coast and engaged themselves in austere penance. Their penance continued for a number of years, after which Sudarshan Chakra appeared before them. As all of them looked up in bewilderment, they heard a heavenly voice, "O sons of Brahma, very soon the Almighty Vishnu is going to manifest himself. The chakra you are seeing is. You all must perform the rituals of Aradhya in the name of Lord Vishnu to show your reverence towards him." All the Manasaputras utilized Sudarshan Chakra with deep devotion. All of them wished that there were a holy river with those water they could perform the rituals of Aradhya. But to their utter dismay, there was no such holy river nearby. They then remembered Lord Brahma, who immediately understood what they desired. Lord Brahma instructed Ganga by saying, "Ganga, go to the earth, where you would be known as Gomati. Sage Vasistha will lead you to your destination. Just follow him like a daughter follows her father." Finally, when Sage Vasistha, followed by Gomati, reached their destination, all the Manasaputras were delighted. They eulogized Ganga and expressed their gratitude to Vasistha for bringing Ganga on earth. All of them thanked Vasistha by saying, "Since you have brought Gomati on earth, you would be considered as their father, as her father." They offered Aradhya to Gomati and subsequently eulogized Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu appeared after being pleased and blessed them. "Your unflinching devotion in me has pleased me no bound. Since you did this penance with the objective of moksha, this place would become famous as Moksha Dayak. This sacrosanct place would also be called Chakra Tirtha because of Sudarshan Chakra, who informed you all of my manifestations at Dwarkapuri. I assure you that I won't abandon this sacrosanct place even for a moment." This way, all the Manasaputras were finally successful in their objective of offering Aradhya to Lord Vishnu with the holy water of Gomati. At last, Gomati, having fulfilled her mission for which she had descended down to earth, emerged with the ocean. Lord Vishnu disappeared from there and Manasputras continued to live there.